Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I have made some huge discoveries today. I am really glad to show them. I'm still kind of testing them, but I think you'll like them. I really do think you're gonna like them. I'm sorry if you hear my voice twice. I need to make sure that my audio is not shit. But yeah, the discovery is that I am going to use these curves to dictate how much grip we have. And so far they have been working wonders. Right. So here I am still trying to figure out how everything works, right? But the point is that we have these curves, and the curves will dictate how fast we lose grip when we are, slipping. So before I had some sliders in here that would make that would try to mimic these curves, but it was inevitable that someday we would have to use the curves. This is the actual power-ups that we're building. I actually built them almost completely offline, but I'll show how it actually looks in just a moment. But here is how these curves work so far. You see how I'm losing grip and how much more responsible the car is. That is because of these curves right here. And I think this is still way too high, right? So we need to, I think it has to be below 0.5. So when the time, you have to like look at the time in here. So when the time hits 0.5, that's when we are, utilizing these values, right? And I have a lot of grip when I'm in 0. So when the drift is starting, we're here, and then we're going down here, right? And then we don't lose much grip when we're down here. So that's what I'm trying to mimic this time around. But I'm still trying to figure out how everything should be working. So I need to be patient, not patient, but I need to pay attention to these values right here. So here's the slip value that I'm trying to mimic, right? So the higher this goes, the more slip I'm losing. And this will dictate this curve, right? So here is the sideways. I'm losing very little, right? You see, I'm at 0.2, and right now I at 0.2, I'm basically losing no grip. So at 0.2, I guess I should do this at 0.4. So if I edit key, this time should be at 0.4. And at 0.4, we are going to lose a lot of grip, right? So until we reach 0.4, and then we're going to not lose anymore. So let's give this a shot. And yeah, I'm using this flat plane to just test things out. So here we go. I'm still not losing a lot of grip. I don't understand why. Stiffness. This stiffness has to be the one that we are trying to, to change. Let's try and have it even more lower, right? I'm going to try and do all of these lower. So close to 0. How are you guys enjoying this series so far? This car building, racing building series. Here's a stiffness we are losing. Very much stiffness. But I don't seem to be losing a lot of grip. I don't understand how this is actually supposed to work. Is this supposed to be higher or lower? I don't know. Let's try and have this much lower. Because as I understand, the stiffness has to be lower for this to start slipping. You see? This is now slipping just sideways. But the forward stiffness. Stiffness is. I don't understand. Anyway, I think we're in the right track using these curves, but I still need to figure out how it actually works. So since this doesn't go much higher, what I would like to do is set this to edit key. Set this to 1, right? Set this to 1 for now, and then also this edit key. This is 0.0, and let's set this to 1 as well. And now, let me try and do this. Right? This should work, huh? I think so. I'm not sure. And I'm looking at ads. How amazing is that? Anyway, okay, here this looks a little better. But I think it also has to do with the fact that I have this set wrong. So I have to edit this key as well. So edit key 1, that's it. And if I reopen this, it's going to open properly. And this is a little lower now to maybe 2. I think 2 is too high as well. So let's start at 1.7 and then lose grip drastically. All the way down to 0.3, right? This should be good. And yeah, the forward friction has to be in a curve like this, where it doesn't lose much grip. But the sideways, I feel like it has to lose much grip, right? It has to lose a lot of grip. So we start at 0.8. And then let's do something like this. And down here, we lose this grip a little more drastically, like this, for example. I don't know. I'm just experimenting right now. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. And it should, when I let go, it should automatically center itself. Is this right? Yes, this is right. Okay. It does center now, right? And I don't seem to lose a lot of grip. I seem to be going in a straight line and not losing grip. Although when I do turn, I do get this bouncing effect still, but that doesn't matter. Thing is, this curve is quite amazing actually. Instead of using all of those variables like in the last time I had, this is just a game changer for me. You can tell that I'm actually very excited about this. Let's try this. This loses grip instantly. In a step way. No, this is wrong. You have to put. I should clarify that this can go into minus and also into positive. But I'm actually doing a math apps, so it can also always go into positive, right? So this will dictate the actual time that is coming in here. So for example, we have -2, and I should see that -0.2 in here is here, and we're losing this much grip here. So maybe I put this down here, and then we'll lose more grip at 0.2, but we don't lose grip. Maybe because this is wrong. Let's bring this down like this, and this should be good. How are you guys? How is this Sunday treating you guys? Okay, that now we already see some improvements. Yeah, this looks a little better, right? So we lose no grip right now when we go straight, and even if we turn a little bit, we lose minimal grip, and then we're right back to 0, which is exactly what should happen. Okay, perfect. I am actually happy. So let's go into our other scene. I'm gonna save everything in here because this scene looks a little bland, a little empty, if I may say. And let's go here. Save this. Hello, Danny Agamera. How are you? I am trying to build, or not trying anymore, but I actually successfully built this curve system. So this system will dictate on how we lose grip. And I cannot seem to get it perfect for some reason, but I think it works. I think it actually works. I'm not sure. Okay, next thing that I would like to show off is the actual power-up system, but that's not like super new, I should say. Yeah, we're losing way too much grip right now. This has to start at a higher value. Like this. And only when we start to actually drift, we can drift more, right? So it's a curve. Okay, so the next thing the next thing that I built is these actual what do you call these, power-ups? Because someone in the comment section wrote that we should have some power-ups or some boosters or something like that, and here it is. I actually built it. It looks quite amazing. And yeah, we can actually use them. So if I press F, I'm using here power up. Okay, so let's get into the coding side of things. This is super straightforward actually. So if I go into Wheel Manager, what I have is a simple animation curve. And the way I use it is I go animation curve, evaluate, and then the time that I want to evaluate. So I get the time, and then I set the time to this stiffness. So this dictates on how we lose the grip. When setting up the wheel colliders, do you make any changes to the stiffness values, or you just use default stiffness values? I do not change them in setup. I can actually show you right now. These are literally what you get when you create the new, when you create a new wheel collider component. These are the values that you find already, right? I don't change anything. What I change is the suspension distance, right? So how far this is. I change the radius, right? So how big the wheel is. And I think that's it. I change nothing else, right? But what I do is I change the stiffness of the friction. So I have forward and I have sideways. And this dictates on how much grip I have, right? I don't change anything from here. I leave this as it is. I don't do anything in here. I don't even understand what these are. Asymptote, extreme, blah blah, right? But what I do is I read the amount of slip that is coming from the wheel. And based on that, I use this wheel friction curve. And as a result of that, we have this curve. Right? But I cannot seem to get it right though. I don't understand what's going on. I guess I need to change to the old one and see what values I'm actually using and what I need to be using. So I'll make a copy of this and then I'll change back to how this was, right? And here we go. This is how this is how I used to have this this wheel with this wheel collider thing. I guess I should disable this UI thing for now since we're testing, right? I still have this in here, but I'm not using it, obviously. And these are the values that I use. But I need to see new stiffness. Okay, here is the values that we are using. So I should be able to see them on the top, right? And I'll just use this for now so I can see better. Okay. Nice, thank you. Of course, you're welcome. Okay, so up here is exactly what I expected to happen. So stiffness forward is already going forward value. Okay, this has to be higher. This also has to be higher. And now what we're doing, stiffness sideways. Well, I guess the forward friction is also contributing on how we lose grip, right? Not just sideways, because we are doing exactly what I thought we were doing. Okay, perfect. This concludes everything, actually. How do you like how this game is turning out so far? I think it's pretty nice, I would say. Okay, I would say that this is good. I would say that these curves should be doing a good job right now. What the hell? I'm going backwards. What? How am I going backwards? Oh, the time is going into the negative. That's not right. Okay, perfect. set this. Let's actually do this. Let's set this to let's set this to edit key, time, and value 1. There's no other key, and time, edit key, time 1, and the value is 0.5, like this. And let's do new. And let's go back in here and let's set this to that as well, right? So now we have, this is wrong. This is 2, what the hell? Okay, I will edit this key. I will do this 1. Edit key 1. And then edit key, not add. I will do edit key, the time is 1 and this is 0.4. Okay, perfect. I delete this, this, and this, and then I do new. Perfect. And then I do here as a new, and there we go. And now we have a perfect handling car. Okay, there we go. That is how you make a nice handling car. Perfect. So the only thing is that we need to lose friction a little drastically. So we hold friction until like 0.2 or 0.25 here. And then we lose drastically here, like this. Obviously in a curve. And then we keep going like that. And I think this should be good. There we go. The only thing is I'm losing a little too much grip. I guess we can have a overall grip slider here that will dictate on how much the overall grip is. But other than that, I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. The forward has to be the exact same as the sideways, but this has to have a little bit more grip. And this does not lose grip as drastically. So this goes like that. And I think this is good. There we go. There we go. Okay, this is good. And now we can actually drive the car. We can switch the power-ups. We can use the power-ups. And there we go. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so what would you say is the next thing to add to this game? Because we have the drifting mechanics, right? Or not the drifting mechanics, but you know, the wheel managers, or the wheel slip managers, or whatever you might call them. We actually, the only thing that doesn't work, and it really bothers me, is the handbrake. Do not worry about this plane, by the way. It's a feature. It's not it is not a problem. But I think this looks really good. I think it looks quite amazing, actually. Okay, let me try now. Get out of play mode. And let's see how this is doing. This is the forward grip. The forward grip is quite good. Like this. Actually, the forward grip has to be above 1. So it has to be above 1. Like 1.2 or something like that. And it does not go much lower. But the sideways does. There we go. And the sideways starts at point. I mean, it starts at 0.8, I would say. And then it drastically loses frictions at 0.2 time. So if I open this like that, it's going to be cleaner. If I do at 0.2, we lose almost half of the friction. Well, maybe that's a little too drastic, I would say. But if I do this like that, then I think this is good. Okay, anyway, we have next thing. Actually, let me do a quick wheel using the OBS or OBS. You cannot see the OBS, but I can, and it does not interfere with you. Okay, I'm gonna stop the music for some seconds, and then we'll keep going. Okay, perfect. So I'll start recording. Okay. So let's enter play mode really quickly. So if you've been wait a minute. If you've been struggling with the friction of the Unity wheel colliders, like I have, here is a quick fix for you. So what I did is I introduced some wheel curves that will dictate on how the wheel is going to lose friction. And this is how the code looks like. Where is it? And this is how the code looks like to actually edit that said friction, and the result of that is a really nice and playable game. Okay, I'll stop recording, I'll play the music again, and we keep going. What's up? First time I joined the stream. Hey, how are you, Prince J? We're currently trying to figure out this sideways friction thing and the forwards and so on and so forth. But I think we got it figured out. There we go. I think this is good. Do not mind the car that is just jumping around. Okay, the next thing that I would like to do is to add these, or actually let me first show you on how I built the power-ups. So obviously we're using the state machine right here. I think I should make this a little bigger, like this. Okay, so obviously we're using the state machine. Can you hear me? I think you can. Let me see. Okay, the music seems a little loud. I think the music is good right now. Okay, so here is our state machine on how I manage my states in the car. I mean in the game. And what I did in here is I added some new fields. So for example, we have a list in here, reusable power up UI objects. I'll show you what that does in a minute. Are these driving physics simulated or arcade? These are all simulated. I do nothing arcadish. That's why it took so long to build this. Everything you see in here is simulated. Literally, nothing else is like from external forces. Nothing, literally. I don't even have down forces yet. I'm trying to perfect this so then later on I can just use it. And then we have 0 problems. And I think we're doing quite good so far. So anyway, as I was saying, I have these objects. So I have a container, I have a prefab. This is just a prefab right here. I should actually do a comment. This is just a prefab. I need to disable this snooze inline suggestions because they are annoying. I have this container, which is really important. And then I have the list. This usually contains 3 objects. And this is what the actual UI will show. So then we have the controller itself. I changed the problem where the keys would not detect. I mean, the key presses were not being detected. So instead of doing is this key pressed equal to blah blah blah, I do that directly. So if the if statement is inside of update, which is triggered every frame, so it cannot, I mean, it cannot like go undetected. That is all cool and well. I have a cycle, which I did in stream last time, and I have use power up, which is slightly tweaked. So I have a switch to know which power up I'm using, and then use nitrous, use rocket, use shield. Here is where I'm doing a new object because I cannot do simply is available set to false. I use this available to know if I have this prefab or not. And then I do this update UI. I call this every time I do something, which is really nice and easy to do. And then inside of that, where is it? Bus, no, UI, yes, here. So inside of this update, what I do is just a simple for loop, and then I set available or not, depending on the what is this? I cannot speak today. What is this? I cannot English. When using animation curves to build engine and gears, can you include a neutral gear, a way to rev the engine without the power? Yes, we will do that as soon as we get to the gearing system. So usually what I was thinking that we have, you know, gears. Excuse my writing. So I have gears like this, and the gears are just a integer. So int gear, which is equal to 2. So I was thinking that since this is a gearbox, we can have a -1, which is reverse, right? 0, which is neutral, and then everything and plus is in the positive, right? So gear 1 is equal to gear 1, gear 2 is equal to gear 2, and so on and so forth. I think this is a pretty good plan of action. When I get to the gearing system, I will obviously think about it a little deeper, if I may. Anyway, next thing that I want to do is what? I don't know actually. Are you making a car controller or a whole game? Well, I'm trying to make a whole game, but it's proving a little difficult right now. Great idea. Writing is not a problem. What do you mean writing is not a problem? Can you elaborate a little bit, please? Anyway, as I was saying, I have this UI, which has power-ups, which has a reusable thing. And on startup, when I do startup, it will create some power up things over here, which is all nice and well. And here is what the power ups will look like, right? So I have 1, 2, and 3. These are index based, so I don't need to be naming these properly because I don't care. And then these are obviously dictated from the car state machine, and that's it. That is literally it. So now if I play the game and I navigate to this, which is supposed to be, what is it supposed to be? A rocket. I will be using a rocket, so using power up rocket. Then I go and navigate into the nitrous. I can use nitrous, and this is a shield, I suppose. Yes, it is a shield. And then if I use the nitrous right now, I press F. I'm using the nitrous for some seconds. And then I'm done. Here it is. I think this is pretty good. I think this is really good. So I cannot seem to get these right. These friction curves for now. So what I want to do is I want to take this one more time, put this in here, and then do a bunch of control Zs like this, and then turn back, turn the old system back. What the hell? I cannot save. Save, bro. Oh my god. I meant when you're writing on screen. Okay, thank you. What is happening right now, bro? What is happening? Save. Thank you. Oh my god. It's so annoying. Okay, so what is the next thing that I want to do? I have tire grip at 0.2, forward value at 0.5, side width value very low, clamp like this, and I think this is good. I think this is good. Okay, yeah, I think this is good. Okay, perfect. This looks really good right now, man. It feels a little arcadey, but it has a hint of, you know, simulation. And I think this is a really good combination. Okay, perfect. I want to keep going, even though I'm really tired. I want to keep going, and I want to obviously improve on this. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of this sparks, and I want to use the same thing but back here. I do this, and then into the car stats, I think. No, it is a state machine. This is wrong, by the way. This should be completely managed off, I mean in runtime, but anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Spark effect. I do not want the spark effect right now. I want to apply everything. There we go. Okay. Have you considered just making a game bit by bit, not at the same time? It's just focus on the core controller and making more refined. Well, yeah, that's what we're doing. That is exactly what we are doing. We are doing step by step. I first built something, and then I built on top of that one thing that I just built. And there we go. This is the state that we are on. The state that we're on is really nice to see. And I think this is really not bad where we are right now. And we did this in like 2 or 3 streams. Not 2 or 3, but you know, you get the idea. Studios take like years to get at this point. But I also took really long because I'm reusing some of these scripts. Okay, so I don't want to bore you off with unnecessary details on how you can build this UI system, right? I think everybody knows how to do that already. From time to time, I just like to enjoy this car. I think it looks really good. I need to drink some water. So we cannot expect any race mechanics and car customization anytime soon. Well, race mechanics, we're doing the race mechanics first and then the car customization. The car customization is really easy to make. The thing that is not easy is the actual parts of the car, and I cannot get them. Because what I can customize are things like how far this wheel stands. That's one thing that I can do. Maybe I can do one more thing on this what is this? Spoiler? So maybe I can do this spoiler off or on, right? I can do color, I can do suspension height, but I cannot do like parts, the actual parts like the Need for Speed games have, because I need to do like modeling, and I don't know how to do modeling. But yeah. Okay, so I think we're at a really good state of the game right now. I think we are doing really good. And I think that I need to start on doing this AI racers, right? So if everybody in the stream can agree, we can actually start on doing that. I had a scene, if I can remember which scene it was. Yeah, this one. This is the scene that I am talking about. 3D cars. No. Okay, this is a prefab. Main camera. Main camera. Is this going to attach? I hope it does. Okay, yeah, so we can just go ahead and drive our car in here. How amazing does this look, by the way? I think the car is a little far, but I built a function for that as well. This looks really nice to play, huh? This looks really good. Does the project work in Unity 2019? It should work. I'm not using... What am I using here? This is Unity 6. But it should work. Like if you just take the scripts, they should be working. This looks really good. This looks awesome. Okay, now that I have all of these set up, can you do a livery editor? Livery editor takes in, if I'm not mistaken, livery takes in a lot of shader work, right? to apply those liveries. And I do not know exactly how to do that, sadly. If I did know, that would be great. Which one of these do you like for me to use as editing vehicles? Vote right now, please. Game looks good. Since it isn't a car part. Yeah, you are right. It is not a car part if we do the livery thing. I'm waiting for your votes, by the way. And there's no way for me to see what you are saying, so I have to use my phone. And I don't seem to have wireless in my phone. Anyway, until you vote on which car I should be using for editing. Actually, I can do a poll. Can I do a poll? How do I do a poll? No. Is there a way of doing a poll in mobile? No. Actually, I can do this. And I can open my stream. And I can do a poll if I can find it. Here's a chat. Engage. Start a poll. Yes. So Porsche or Ferrari. Which do I use to test? There we go. Put your votes in, please. Okay. Until you vote, I need to figure out. Or actually, isn't this already supposed to work? No, it's not supposed to work because why? I have too many failures. I have too many failures, I think. Yeah. But it seems to be working. Even though I have failures. I mean, not failures, but errors. The Porsche seems a little off for some reason. Don't you guys think? The Porsche seems a little off to me. And I do not know why. What do you guys think? Anyway, we need to set up the racers, right? So we have a scriptable racer right here, and then we have the track points. If I remember correctly, I have a map. I have a map of waypoints like this. There it is. And then I made a player to follow those maps. So let me, until you do the voting, let me just place those points into this map. I have placed most of them. So I'm going to continue just placing all of those down. And we can keep going from there. Prefab cube, here it is. And if I remember correctly, if I place them like this, and then if I place them like this, it's going to connect. Perfect. So I'll do that later when I continue, when I completely finish the race. And I hope you don't get bored to death watching me do this. I also seen a lot of people asking about a livery system. But I think that the idea of livery systems is maybe, or maybe, I'm not sure. It may be a little old to me, right? Or maybe I'm not in, you know, in the spirit of those type of things. But I think that that's like a 2002 idea of doing. Because I used to play Forza a lot, and I didn't really see many people using this livery system thing. Right? So what I mean by that is that really like a focus point of us? Because we're trying to do this together. Okay, so we are almost done with placing all of these points down, and then we can keep, I mean not keep, but we can try and build our AI. And I think calling it an AI is a little stupid at this point, but controlled racer. Controlled NPC, or non-playable character. I think a non-playable character is a good name of calling our agent. Because they are actually agents, if you think about it, right? Okay, so here's all of my cubes. I place them in a waypoint, and we have a map to our name. Can't wait for Forza Horizon 6. Do you like the placement of the Forza Horizon 6? I mean, the location of the Forza Horizon 6 is in Japan, but do you think that Japan is a car place? Because if you look at it, in Japan, not many people own cars, right? They use Forza Horizon 3, but they just changed the Horizon 6. Wow, amazing. So if you think about it, Japan is not the place of cars, right? It's really like not rare, but not many people have or own cars in there. So do you think it's a good idea to place a car-based game in a non-car-based place? Personally, I think they're gonna do a good job, because they always do a good job, right? But part of me thinks, like, is it really gonna work? You know, is it really going to work? Because they keep making Japan is mostly car active at night. So basically you're saying Need for Speed, not Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon is not built for night kind of activities. As far as I know, actually. I'm not, you know. But where is this? This is the last one. The only bad thing about this placement thing is that you cannot select them. So if I do this, I can never select it. Okay, this is the waypoints, and I can do a closed loop, right? I can, of course I can. Because I coded that in. That is amazing. Now we have nodes. Are these all the nodes? We have 1. Then we have 72. These are all the nodes, actually. That is amazing. Okay, line color. I don't care about any of these. I want to set up, not this. I want to disable this completely. And I want to set up the racer. Here is our racer. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that this is already supposed to do something. There it is. It is actually doing something. I don't know what exactly. It is getting to the place that it's supposed to get. So I can already see one failure. I keep saying failure, but it's Forza Horizon 7 should be set in Kenya, Africa. Well, that Kenya, Africa. Dude. Kenya. Is this a driving heaven? Kenya. And I mean, it looks good. It looks nice and green. Anyway, I am getting off topic. I have a scriptable racer. Forza should go to Africa next. I agree. Forza should go to Africa next. There's something wrong with my stream. Is there something wrong with my stream? No. Everything looks good. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. Okay, I have a lot of votes that are saying Porsche should be the winner. That is how it should be, actually. Porsche should always win. Okay, I switch back to stream, and then I fix what I wanted to fix. So just to give you some clarity on what's going on, I have this racer that is supposed to follow these waypoints, but it is lacking a start method. So what I mean by that is, if I do just start here, and this is obviously a void, I do transform. What is going on with this thing? This is the worst thing on like it ever happened. Coding on unsupported system that is Apple. And I'm using the latest thing and it's still garbage. So, okay, void start current node 0. That is not what I want. I want to do transform dot position is equal to the position first. That's it. That's all I want to do. That is literally all I want to do. I just want to tell this racer to snap to the first node. And then when you do that, okay, that is perfect. So when it does that, it should, if I press pause, which should keep playing, it should just look at the other node, right? It doesn't look at the other node. Perfect. Because why would you look at the other node? Oh, I think this is local. Yeah. Okay, perfect. This is good. And I think now we have a steer effect. And then we have the speed modifier, right? And when there is a curve coming, this should stop the speed. Because this should detect the curve. Right? And now we have a little straight. And now we have some curves, which should make it go slower. But I think there's something wrong. I think there's something wrong. And I don't know what. When creating AI cars, can add a way to overtake other AI cars and players' cars in addition to braking when it senses a car in front. Well, I can. If you want like a straightforward answer, but is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? Okay. Steer effect. What does steer effect do? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The steer effect is supposed to tell me. The steer effect is supposed to tell me that. Let me just look at this one more time. We have a speed that is telling this this transform position. Okay, here is a speed modifier and then steer effect, right? So this is supposed to tell it, right? Oh, I have a clamp. That's why it's not working properly. That is literally why it's not working properly. But it's supposed to just take away from this speed modifier. And I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing here, because this looks a little wrong in my opinion. Snooze inline for now. Okay. So I have this like this, and then I have this like this. Perfect. So I have two clamps for whatever reason, and I want to just test it one more time. So I have a corner thing, and I have the steer effect. So this steer effect should be greater the greater the turn angle is, right? So if I do this greater, I mean, if I increase this, it does nothing because I have clamps set up. Right? And it's only taking away a 0.3. Now it's 0.2 because it's a little straighter. Right? This looks good. Okay, this looks good. The only thing is that I should smooth damp it. But I think I should, or actually I think I am going to do this script off camera. And then next stream, that when I come back, I will just tweak it on camera and see where we go from there. So that is what I'm going to do. And for the pleasure of the viewers, I am going to set up the Porsche, because I like the Porsche and the audience like the Porsche as well. So let's see what's missing from here. Well, first of all, this color is a little off in my opinion. So let's do let's do a slight black, right? With metallic look. Let's make it a little more black in my opinion, like this. That looks good. That looks typical Porsche-like. And now let's try and take some parts from here. The first thing that I want to do is the reflection probe, because this I did this really nicely actually. So reflection probe position like this. And there we go. Now we have reflections. I think this looks really good. All right. So now, what is your favorite car brand? Porsche. What else is it gonna be? Okay, and now what am I missing from here? I'm obviously missing a lot of things from the state machine, right? So I have a exhaust from here, which I will take. And I will put here. No. Duplicate this, bro. What the hell is wrong with you? Okay, exhaust. I do this. And then I just place it wherever I want. Like this. What a surprise. They have the exact same amount of exhausts. Okay, now let's put the exhaust in here. I cannot, because this is the right one. There we go. Let me just do this. Like this. This used to work. I promise when I do when I drag into the plus, it's supposed to add a new one, but it doesn't anymore. Okay, anyway, what is the last thing that is missing? I think it's the UI, so I'll just do that. And power-ups, I have none. Let's add 3 because there's always 3. Okay, and they're all active by default. And UI container is here. And do I need the canvas or do I need... okay, perfect. So this canvas goes here. And then the reusable goes here. There we go. Now if I click play, it's gonna give me errors because I have two vehicles. That's not right. If I do this now, it's supposed to work. Okay, I have a unassigned variable, which is center of mass. Okay, center of mass. Here you go. Reset that. Set it appropriately. Like this, for example. This is a good center of mass, I would say. And where does the center of mass go? In the car controller, of course. Now if I hit play, there we go. Now we have a car. Perfect. Perfect. The only thing is that the UI is wrong. The UI is very wrong. This should be like this. Okay, perfect. So there we go. We have the Porsche ready to be played with. Oh man, I keep forgetting how good this game is. Or how good I am making it, I should say. The steering is so wrong in this car. I don't know what is wrong actually. But I have a solution for that. So I go wheel manager, copy component, wheel manager, paste component. There we go. Then the car stats, I'll do all-wheel drive. Booster is very high. Actually, let's do the same thing. Copy component, paste component. There we go. Perfect. Now I hit play. And there we go. Here is our car. Oh my god, it's so much better. It is so much better. Well, do not mind the the rolling over. That is not a bug. That is a feature. As usual. It is just jumping in thin air. It is jumping in thin air. Don't you love it? I love it. Collision mesh. Okay, this is what is causing the thing. Make this a little smaller for now because I don't mind. And there we go. How do you like this now? I think this is really good. Maximize. Okay, so the idea, or actually my idea of this game is that you're going along, you're racing, you have power-ups. Well, that the jumping is not supposed to happen, obviously. But you have the power-ups, and the good thing is that it's not arcade-ish, so you can do some maneuvering, right? And what the hell? Am I fighting some ghosts in here or whatever? Okay, so back to the idea. So the idea was, or actually initially was, you're driving, you're racing some cars, right? And then somebody just passes you, and then you have a rocket. You just push this rocket, and it goes, and then it just attacks the other player, right? The other thing is that you have some racing, I mean, some simulated physics, right? Like this, for example. This is all simulated. Nothing is artificial, so nothing is arcadish. And then, yeah, it looks a little, you know, realistic in my opinion. And it looks fun. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to try and do one more real video, because that is my primary source of people to subscribe. Okay, so if you would like to have a game that looks like this, and you can just download in the what do I even say though? I get so lost when I record. Sometimes there is like 2-hour sessions, and from that there is like 10 minutes that I can use in videos. And that's why it takes so long to make videos for me, because I'm not fluent. But anyway, if you like to have this game and do whatever you want with it, or if you want to build a game that looks like this, you can now just download this from a GitHub link down in the video description below. So what it has is some jumping mechanics that I totally implemented myself. And then what else it has is some power-ups. So the party piece of this project is that it has power-ups built into it, right? So you can just cycle through the power-ups and you can use them. And we have a working nitrous system. I have to figure out why this is happening. What is going on now? Reflection probe, exhaust, UI, center of mass. What am I hitting? This is a mesh collider. But nothing else is a mesh collider, only this. What the hell? I wonder if the same thing happens with the other car. We're just testing at this point. Hello LH Studios, how are you? We're building a racing game. And it's working, it's not working, but it's going quite smoothly so far. Until I figure out there is ghosts in this game. I wish I knew why, but I cannot be bothered. So I'll disable this to make it a little smoother, and then I will do this. And I think this is going to fix it. So I'll disable you, and then I'll start you. Okay, so if you're looking, is this Unity or Unreal Engine? This is Unity, bro. So if you're looking to get into car racing, video game making, this is the perfect opportunity for you, because I have made all of this game in stream, and then you can just use it using the download link down below. So everything you see in here is free to download in a GitHub link, and the party piece of this script. Fucking hell! Why do you keep getting stuck? Okay, now you will never be getting stuck. So the party piece of this, the party piece of this project is that it is partly arcade-ish, because it has a power-up system, and it's partly simulated because it uses real simulation physics, like, you know. I wish I knew why this is happening. This is so sick. This is really sick. Okay. So the good thing about this is that it is partly simulated and partly arcadish, because it has a working power-up system, and then you can just use it, cycle through the power-ups, and we have a working nitrous. Oh my god. It's so annoying. Anyway. Anyway. Didn't we have another scene? I should stop this. Didn't we have another scene? Super Mario. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I don't have a sun in here. What? I forgot to save. That is really not good. Override, apply all. Override, apply all. That's it. Super Mario map. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. I can see some people just joined in. We have a directional light. We have some intensity going on. We already have a sky in here, apparently. But we have missing. Delete everything that is not needed. I don't know why I have these. I remember fixing this actually. Map streaming model scene. Super Mario track. I remember fixing this. But anyway, that does not matter. Oh, this doesn't have. That's not good. Anyway, test track. City here, city scene. Save. Oh yeah, this is the one. Yes, this is the one. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I forgot one thing. I am so sorry. I forgot the colliders. These should be at 0, 0, 8. Like this. It should be barely above the ground. Okay, maximize. There we go. This looks really beautiful now. Start recording. This is the game that we're building in Unity here in our streams, and you can just go ahead and download it from the GitHub link. The good thing about this is that we are trying to do everything simulated, but with a touch of arcadish style. So for example, in here we have some power-ups. This is just a demo scene. We can switch on power-ups, we can use power-ups, and we have everything simulated. So nothing is from outside forces, I should say. And also we have a working nitrous. And I think the game is looking really good so far. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching. Off stream, I will try and do the AI racers, and then we shall be back as soon as possible. It's really good that you guys are just coming and hanging out in my stream, even though there is not a lot of you. I'm trying to make changes. I'm trying to make these streams a little bit more friendly, because right now they're like a little weird to watch and empty at times. You know, like I keep forgetting to set the music. I keep forgetting the audio is not right. There's no second monitors. I cannot see on real time what you are saying, but I'm trying to get there. So thank you for, sticking around, and we'll see you